Hey guys, Magnus here, and in the light of Valentine's Day, it's the beautiful day, where, and this event's pretty much already over, so there's not really much point me waiting for the end of the event. I usually wait to the end of the events to do these kind of videos, but to be honest, we're only getting that anyway. We're only getting Betty and the Sugar Co and the Chapel, so I think it's appropriate to do a ranked thing. I can't exactly do a top 5, there's not enough stuff to really do a top 5, there's only like 11, there's 11 buildings, so I may as well just do a ranked, and same with characters, which we're doing now. We're going to be talking about my ranked characters, so my characters from the worst to the best, or best to worst, but I'm going to title it worst to best, because it always looks, or best to worst, because it sounds better. Yeah, clickbait. Anyway, so there literally is only, let me just count, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 characters in this entire, that have been added in Valentine's Day. Well, not 7 actually. Well, I've grouped the Spruckler brood because so technically there's more. There's 2 more than that. 9. There's 9 characters. There's 9 characters altogether, which is not, you know, it's not amazing. It's not too bad. It would be cool if we had more, and I really do wish we got 2 this year, but whatever. Anyway, we're going to go from the worst one to right to the best one, so let's start it off. So the worst one, in my opinion, the worst character we got from Valentine's Day, it's still Becky. I still think Becky is the worst one we've ever got. Not that she's a terrible character or anything. Well, she's not an amazing character. And the problem is, it's kind of hard to really rank them in some ways, because a lot of the time, if you've got like this kind of really small character who's hardly appeared very much, it's kind of hard to really put them very high compared to characters which we're very familiar with. And it's unfortunate that Becky's here, but in terms of, you know, she's not exactly an amazing one. She's like Otto's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, and of course she comes with the crazy cut, or whatever the heck it is, the German bar, and she's kind of like, she was a very bland character. You know, she didn't have voice or anything like that. Her tasks were very bland, and the character overall was just bland. I didn't really get her. You know, I didn't get the quest line. It was just very flat, and that's the reason it is, in my opinion, is right here. Very flat character. The second worst character is unfortunately Betty. I hate to put her here because I like the fact that she is Cletus's cousin, and I like they're adding a family member from one of our sort of core families. I mean, yeah, I'd say Cletus was a core family. I guess the main 3 I'd say were obviously the Simpsons / Bouvier, Van Houtens, and Flanders, and I guess maybe you could say the Lovejoys. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure that's the main families, really. Yeah, but yeah, Betty is still a part of a family that we're quite familiar with, and a family which we actually sort of got the main members for in Valentine's Day. Of course, previously we got Brandine and the Spruckler brood in Valentine's Day as well, and you know, it's kind of cool to get Betty. Maybe Valentine's Day, that's what Valentine's Day really is all about. It's about completing the Cletus family, because if we get Mary Spruckler one year, which we might get, you know, that's another one. I do hope we get Mary Spruckler next year. Another Cletus's family would be cool. I don't mind it. They could just do a whole Cletus theme. Why not? Make Valentine's Day Cletus's event. No, but Betty, she's not an amazing character. I mean, she's not terrible. I do think some of her tasks are kind of funny. You know, yeah, I can't feel bad making fun of her because of weight. But you know, it's a fictional character. It's not a real person. But yeah, no, I think that her things are pretty funny. You know, the whole thing with the wall, taking on the wall, and you know, it's not. She's not an amazing. You know, she's not exactly. She's not a big character not in terms of size. In terms of how she is in the show, she was only really there for a few little cameos, so I can't really put her up any higher. Anyway, the next after that, speaking of Sprucklers, is the Spruckler brood. So of course this includes Birthday, Whitney, and I actually forget the other guy's name. What's the other one's name again? It's like Dunbury or something like that, I think. Whatever. Dunbury, I forgot. But Birthday, Whitney, and the other one. Now, of course, the way you got these was after you unlocked Brandine, you could make her do a task, which was a 90-day task, where she had a baby, basically. And then after you did the 90-day task, you were rewarded with one of these characters. And then you did it 3 times, you get all 3. I really like this idea, and that's the reason I think they're so cool. And the characters are even cooler, because they didn't want to give them tasks, they didn't want to obviously make them full-fledged tasks, but at the same time, they didn't make them just completely useless. They gave them this kind of, I think it's every 4 hours, or is it every 6 hours, I'm not too sure. But basically, so every certain certain amount of time, they earn you some cash. And it's quite unique because I like it, because in some ways they are kind of playable. You know, it doesn't, obviously you can't choose what tasks they do, and they don't have any real animations, but I don't think that matters. I think, you know, they're still earning money. They're essentially as good as a building. So, in my opinion, I think, yeah, they are better than both Betty and Becky. You know, they don't look very pleasant. They're not very pleasant to look at because they're quite, you know, well, they're in poverty. And it's quite upsetting to see. Yeah, it feels like Patches and poor Violet. I like that character as well, the double character. They're cool. Yeah, but the Sprockle Brood, yeah, I had to put them here. They are pretty cool. I just feel like they're obviously not big enough to put any higher. They're not really that developed. You know, they can't really go any higher. But yeah, and I really wish one Valentine's Day, which would be cool, if they one day they are completely out of ideas, which would be fair enough, re-add Brandine for people who haven't got her, and do more Sprockler. Make her have an extended task where she can go get pregnant for another 90 days and have more kids. I really want to see that because there's so many Sprockler kids. I might do a video talking about a completing families one. I really want to do like one where we talk about the main families. We'll talk about the main couple, maybe the main 5, like what characters they need to add to complete families. I really want to do that theme video. So I probably will do that. I'll do one obviously on the Simpsons and stuff, but we'll talk about Cletus as well. Anyway, moving on. That's just a video idea I've got thinking about. Anyway, moving on. Next up is the 4th best one, and this is Shawna. So Shawna, of course, was added in the very first Valentine's Day update we ever got, which was 2013. Now she is a pretty cool character. Now, of course, they did the whole romance thing with her and Bart, where of course Bart kind of fancied her a little bit. The only problem I have with her character is it kind of reflects a little bit of like Laura Powell. I feel like both Shawna and Laura are kind of like similar, and that's why I don't like Shawna all that much. But I think she is a pretty cool character still. There's still some really cool stuff with her. And they also like bring her back all the time. That's what I mean. They bring her back for like Halloween and stuff. There's quite a few little things. I just feel like she was like the first character for me anyway that I had that was kind of like not really a character I was very familiar with. But I do think she's a pretty cool character, and I'm glad they added her. And yeah, I think number 4 right in the middle. I think that's fair enough. I think that she is the kind of middle character. Anyway, getting to our top 3 now. Number 3 is Mindy Simmons. So, of course, Mindy. Now, I thought this was a great event as well. Well, it wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good. The stuff they did with Mindy, anyway, I'm saying. Not the event as a whole, I'm just saying the stuff they did with Mindy. I thought it was really cool as well. Because, of course, Homer has this whole thing with Mindy where he sort of, I guess, considers leaving Marge for her, something like that, or at least having an affair. Does he actually have an affair? I can't actually remember, but yeah, basically Mindy is a woman who works at the power plant, and of course Homer sort of has a crush on her for a little bit, and there's a kind of whole dilemma in it, and it is, I guess, Valentine's Day themed in some way. You could say it's kind of anti-Valentine's Day because he's considering leaving his wife, but no. No, she is a really cool character. I do like her, and I do like the stuff that you did with her. Her tasks are actually interesting, and the only reason I kind of have to put her here is I just feel the other 2 characters are just a little bit better than her due to the episodes they're in. And it's kind of annoying. I don't like to say, but I can't really put these 2 characters really below her because I just feel like they were done pretty well and tapped out, and also I just feel like yeah, well, I just can't put them any above them. Anyway. Number two is Brandine. So yeah, I put Brandine. Of course, Brandine is Cletus's wife, and I talk about completing the family. She is vital. You know, she's like a vital member. You think of the Cletus's family. The first one you think is Cletus. The second one is you think of Brandine, and maybe the third is probably Mary. To be honest, Mary Sprockler. But yeah, I think she is kind of relevant, and she is needed, and she was needed, and I like the fact that she was added on Valentine's Day. It was kind of cool because the whole thing they did with the baby, and of course the baby thing as well kind of boosts her character up all so much because, well, you're buying 1 character but you're getting 4, you know. So that's why I think the character, I forgot the exact price, but it was a good deal. You know, I think it was like 100 donuts, 120 or something like that. I'm pretty sure she was, which was a good deal because you are getting 4 characters in 1, which is really cool. And I just think the character overall, just but that for a whole pushed her up. Does she have? No, she doesn't have voice, but she has some really cool tasks. Her tasks are really cool. You know, she has an okay questline. It's not amazing, and plus, I just feel yeah, you know, she's more relevant in The Simpsons, and the Valentine's Day stuff was more relevant, of course, because she actually is someone's wife, and a character who's kind of big, you know, a big-ish character. But that's why I really wish they added Sarah Wiggum this year, because I feel like you kind of need to add Wiggum's wife. He's pretty upset. Whatever. Anyway, our number 1 spot. Can we have that drum roll? But no, everyone knows what it is, really, don't, to be honest. Well, of course, I've put Mona Simpson. So, of course, last year we got Mona Simpson as a character. It's kind of funny how that is the worst character. The worst character from Valentine's Day is one we got last year, and the best is one we got for last year. But yeah, I just think Mona was pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant, I guess. She was just amazing. It's a good character, and of course they needed to add her. She was a vital character to add. I was a bit disappointed they didn't add her with the Springfield's old farm, because I felt that would have been a perfect building to add her with in a level. But then of course they stopped levels anyway. But they didn't add her in a level. They instead added her in Valentine's Day, and I never really thought of that. I never really thought about adding her in Valentine's Day. I thought about adding her maybe like a Mother's Day themed, but I never thought about Valentine's Day, mainly because you don't really see Abe and her their relationship that much, and I like the fact that Tapped Out worked on that, and that was really cool. They made the Valentine's Day into a mini event more than what the mini event in 2014, I want to say, the one that we got in 2014, which was very, it was 2014, I think, or was 2015. I don't know, but we got like, oh no, it was 2014. The one we got with 2014 was like this kind of, they tried to make it into, like, they changed like the App Store and stuff. They tried to make it into a big-ish / mini event. It wasn't very, you couldn't exactly call it a big event, but it wasn't, it was a bit more than a mini event as well. It was kind of weird, and it was pretty crappy because it had this wheel. So that Valentine's Day was awful, but this one was really cool. We got 2 characters with it, and you had a quest line, you had to complete certain things to actually get Mona. And at the end, it was a cool prize to get. Mona's just a brilliant character. Of course, she is Homer's mother. She's vital to the story. She's a very important character. And of course, she died as well, so they did that whole thing as well. And there's a few other things I would have liked that would have been added with Mona. There's this mountain where Homer scattered the ashes, or it's like a kind of, or like a big rock essentially. I would have liked if they added that, to be honest. But the stuff they did with her and Abe was really good, and I think overall the episode and the character is the update and the character was just brilliant. And I can't really put anything above Mona, unfortunately. And that's all my characters ranked. So please tell me your top 3, or rank them if you want. Please at least give me your top 3, please, or just your top 1 if you can. If you've not got time for a 3, just tell me if you agree. I think most of you probably would agree with me, but maybe there's some of you who think Brandine's better than Mona. I could understand that argument as well, because obviously you are getting 4 and 1. So I guess some people could make the argument that Brandine's better. But yeah, tell me your thoughts, and I shall see you next video for more Valentine's Day themed things. Valentine's Day themed their lists. I'll just go through what I am doing. I'm going to be doing a ranked buildings, so we're going to do the buildings ranked best to worst, or worst to best, and then we're also going to be doing just the general Valentine's Day events, which I tend to be doing, just ranking which ones are better, and yeah. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next video. Goodbye!